Are you gonna slay it?
I always slay it, queen.
Don't know what any of that means? Don't be left out anymore. Watch new episodes of the best comedy show around, Rick and Morty. 5 all-new episodes start Sunday, November 10th at 11:30. Only on Adult Swim. It's been way too long.
Rick, maybe if we go a little
faster? Good idea, Morty. It'll get us through these asteroids sooner.
The smartest Rick and Mortiest Morty in the universe are back.
I'm not rated to climb something this sheer.
Look, you're the guy that wanted an epic adventure. I'm the guy with only one hover chair.
And things are pretty much the same.
Oh, spinal cord, activate morphine.
All up.
Lab coat, rip off Dr. Strange.
I'm dying, Rick.
People who are really dying don't keep bringing it up.
Is that true?
I don't know. I'm just usually around people that die faster.
Rick and Morty. 5 all-new episodes start Sunday, November 10th at 11:30. Half the season you deserve. All the season we could handle.
You know what? This one counts as one of your adventures.
Only on Adult Swim.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. They dropped a new promo for Season 4. This is also going to be my non-spoilery review of Rick and Morty Season 4, Episode 1. I had a chance to see the episode early. I will be doing videos for all the episodes this season, so be sure to subscribe if you're brand new to my channel. I'll do merch giveaways in all the videos. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave your biggest prediction about Evil Morty during Season 4. And don't worry, there is more than 5 episodes total in Season 4, it's just that the first 5 are airing before the end of the year. I'll explain how that's going to work at the end of the video. But the long wait for Season 4 is over. We're finally there. You guys made it. If you've been a fan of Rick and Morty since the beginning, then giant breaks between seasons is no big deal. You're used to it by now. But one of the results of the giant break since Season 3 and the 70-episode renewal was this real desire from Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland, based on what they've said, to prove to fans that the show deserves all the popularity that it's gained, and that despite the gaping chasms of breaks between seasons, they have not lost any of their edge or wit. One of the best things about the show the last couple of years has been watching how much more complex and crazy the stories have gotten as they've started to polish their creative process and found their quote-unquote special sauce in the writer's room. Make all the Szechuan jokes you want. The animation has always been solid. The only minor changes you notice when you go back and rewatch Season 1 is that between Seasons 1 and Season 2, they fixed some of the frame rate issues, but Bardell, for the most part, have been their animators since Season 1. And as far as I know, they'll continue to do so until the show goes off the air after 100 years worth of seasons. But Season 4, Episode 1 is titled Rick Die Repeat Edge of Tomorty, which is a reference to Tom Cruise's Edge of Tomorrow movie, which itself is based on a Japanese manga called All You Need Is Kill. And the episode also borrows the main premise of the movie that Tom Cruise gets caught in a resurrection time loop and winds up dying 1,000 times until he finds all the different things that he needs to do so that he can end the time loop and his life can finally move forward. And the basic concept of Episode 1, without getting too spoilery about it, is that Rick and Morty find something that allows them to see their future and see how they're going to die. And Rick, who's not only aware that he's in a fictional TV show, so why does anything matter, has also shown countless times that he has no problem with dying and no real attachment to his current physical form. He's not a total nihilist. He does care about things. He cares about Morty, he cares about Beth, he cares about the family. But like Season 3, Episode 6 is a good example. Fighting Toxic Rick, he made a new body for himself mid-fight and didn't skip a beat. Or Project Phoenix from Tiny Rick, not the fallback he thought it was. He destroys all of his clones like it's no big deal. There's no great existential crisis at knowing his future because he's traveled the finite curve and seen hundreds and thousands of different versions of himself, all who made very different choices and have wildly different lives than he did. It's the same basic concept as the message of interdimensional Cable. He doesn't get so hung up on what he might have done when things go wrong. His main concern remains his immediate survival through the episode. It's Morty that really flips out when he finds out how he's going to die and can't get past it. He's consumed like Tom Cruise was in changing his fate and trying all kinds of different things to avoid it. He's still a little kid, so he doesn't quite understand the concept of self-fulfilling prophecies. It's a lot like Morty during Morty's Mind Blowers. He stares into the truth tortoise's eyes, and suddenly he literally knows everything as his mind starts to collapse under the stress of it all until Rick explains how he's kept Morty sane during all their escalating adventures by erasing the most dangerous memories. The difference this time in Season 4, Episode 1, because Dan and Justin aren't super huge on copy-paste repeating storylines, is that there's no super quick fix that Rick can use on Morty. He has to just deal with it. And Rick's message, the ultimate message of the episode, is to just be content to live in the present. Don't get so caught up on what might happen that it prevents you from being happy. Which, if you've ever listened to an episode of Harmontown, you might hear Dan Harmon talking about all the time. It's something that he gets hung up on in real life. His own fear of eventually maybe being destitute, so he works harder and sometimes will get super stuck on things. So the message of the episode also kind of winds up being the writers commenting on themselves in a meta way. And you'll remember, part of the reason for the major delay between Season 2 and Season 3 is that Dan Harmon said that there would be times in the writer's room that they just get stuck on an idea or a script for way too long, and it would prevent them from finishing things on time. There was even a trailer video that I did last week where Justin and Dan were making fun of themselves for blowing all their deadlines when they were working on Season 4 episodes.
We missed all of our deadlines.
Season 4, Episode 1 isn't the first time the writers have used episodes to joke or comment about themselves in real life. Also during Morty's Mind Blowers, the ending scene where Summer's forced to save Rick and Morty after they pull a scenario 4, they wake up thinking that they missed a new interdimensional cable episode, yelling at Summer, and she says, "No wonder you're constantly fighting with each other and behind schedule." The thing that they were referencing with that particular scene was mostly the false accusation that the writers spent most of Season 3 fighting with each other, particularly Dan and Justin, and that's why Season 3 came so late. Which is only half true. They did get hung up on script details, but they weren't fighting or at each other's throats or anything like that. Talking about big changes from Season 3, the most seismic change between Season 3 and Season 4, just in terms of the story, is the family dynamic itself. They foreshadowed that themselves during the Season 3 Episode 10 ending scene, the finale, when Beth says things are going to be more like they were during Seasons 1 and Seasons 2. They also released a new promo image that kind of conveys what that looks like in the episodes, with Jerry yelling at Rick and Rick standing there being forced to listen to him. At the beginning of Season 4, Rick is kind of low man on the totem pole again in terms of family status, despite being smarter and better than ever. So at least in the first episode, because I haven't seen the other ones yet, they do address this by having Rick at least try to get some measure of consent to take Morty on their next adventure, instead of just dragging him out of bed like he would in previous seasons, or ordering people to come along with him. As you can see, even though he's not happy about it, he still tries to get permission. And you guys get really excited by this. Just like at the end of every single first episode from each season, at the end of Season 4, Episode 1, there's a huge fourth wall break moment that's even bigger and crazier in scope than the Season 3, Episode 1 Szechuan sauce rant. Just to let you know that despite the super long break between seasons, they have huge plans for the show, and things will only get more epic and crazier over the next 69 episodes. But just ranking my favorite premiere episodes, there haven't been that many, so this is actually pretty easy. Going from bottom to top, starting with number 4, Season 1, Episode 1. It was great as a polished version of the Doc and Marty original short that Justin made that would later turn into Rick and Morty, but it's more of a proof of concept for the series. There's 1,000% more burps, and they repeat each other's names constantly if you haven't watched it in a while. It's still a really fun episode, I still really like it, but the show's gotten way more polished since then. Number 3, Season 2, Episode 1. This was also a seismic change in terms of how crazy the science fiction of the show got, but also a huge increase in the heart, the core storytelling, Rick's relationship with his family. It also gave us one of the best Rick moments of all time. He sacrifices himself only to then take his promise to God right back and throw it in his face after surviving. It perfectly encapsulates who Rick Sanchez is as a person, or at least C-137 Rick. My number 2 is Season 3, Episode 1. You're probably sensing the pattern here, but last season's premiere came after the longest break between seasons up to that point. Not only did they deliver on increased fan expectation with one of the crazier plots and sci-fi twists so far, they also used those twists to kind of answer a lot of long-running fan questions, then take it all right back. What is Rick's origin story? What happened to his wife? One of the biggest fan questions since the beginning, but the show is always at its best when it doesn't over-explain things, and Rick is more interesting when you don't know everything about his backstory. They also win major bonus points for that April Fool's Day stunt episode. That was really cool. So obviously, Season 4, Episode 1 is my favorite season premiere so far. I'm not quite ready to call it my favorite episode of all time, but it is amazing, and even though it sucks that it took this long to get to Season 4, the show is just as good as it's ever been, if not better. Yes, I know everyone's still freaked out about that 5-episode run, but remember, there's just a short break for the holidays, then they come back for more episodes for the rest of the season.
The reason you're getting 5 and then a small break and then the back 5 is because Turner Broadcasting warned us about entertainment signal levels.
My full Season 4 Episode 1 video will post next Monday morning. As long as you have alerts enabled for my channel, you should see the videos when I post them, but leave all your video requests in the comments below. Congratulations, GT Godbear, you're the giveaway winner for my last Rick and Morty video. Please email me on the About page of my channel so I can get your details. Everyone, click here for that last big Rick and Morty Season 4 trailer with a bunch of new clips and footage, and click here for all my Rick and Morty Season 3 episode videos and Easter eggs. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.